What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing today? It is your boy, Trey SMR, and this is actually going to be like my first ASMR YouTube video, guys, so hello. I did upload another video before, but it was just a video I found like a long time ago, or like that I made a long time ago that I never even uploaded, of the ASMR reading of the lyrics of MF Doom, Rap Snitches. So yeah, I've honestly been wanting to make ASMR for like so long. I've been into it since like 2016, and ever since I had stumbled across that like in June, obviously I uploaded it, but you know, I wanted to make some more content. I'm kind of lazy, can't lie. But now I have a lot of time, and well, I just got a new job recently actually, but you know, I don't really do much besides that and watch football, so I've been wanting to make ASMR for so long, so I think it's time to do that. So we will do it and start with this video, guys. So like I said, I am Trey SMR, your host here, and hopefully I can give you good vibes, and I hope my voice is very nice for, your ASMR pleasure. That's kind of what always, for me, is what I need, is like I need a good ASMR voice to fall asleep, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be our first episode on Trey SMR. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry for my long ramble there. But today, we are going to be looking at my two NFL fantasy football rosters, and how I did in the draft, and I guess how the draft really turned out overall. This year I did two leagues, the same two leagues I did last year actually. One with my friend Sam, who goes by XIX. He has his own channel. And that one was actually a 20-man league. So, very big league, it was different. It was different, but I can let you guys, like, I'm a real football nerd. Like, I'm a big nerd about football. So, that was really cool for me to do. I've never done that before. I had only done like up to like 12 or 14 man drafts, so that was really fun. And then the second league was my uncle's, with his co-workers from work. I actually work where he used to work now. And my friend Sam again, and our other friend Dylan. And that one is 8-man draft. So that's like big drastic changes, you know what I mean, right? And to spice it up even more, my uncle, he did it last year, but he made up the points all like crazy, and it's actually kind of fun. And he had like 20 bench spots and extra flex. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be diving into today, and we're gonna be looking at how I did in those drafts. Let me just get my screen recording going here. So first, we're gonna be looking at the XIXSPN league. There, you see it, and you see my team, my wonderful team. Puka Pipe, as you see. I don't know if I can show that on YouTube actually, but yeah, obviously I'm a Rams fan. If you can't tell, my Los Angeles Rams. Might talk about that a lot this year, actually, the season. But yeah, so I'll show you the league first. Don't mind all the names. I'm sure there might be, there's one that stands out, obviously, but, there's a couple. But yeah, this is our league here. It's 20 men, guys, 20 men. That's insane, right? 20 men. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the draft. And honestly, how it came about was, I'm sorry about that noise. That's the draft noise or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, we did this last year on Sleeper. It was 12 men. And one of our friends, it was our first year doing fantasy, actually, she won it. So it was pretty interesting. And it was actually really fun, because I had been undefeated, and I only lost once in the regular season, but then I lost in the first round of the playoffs, so of course that happened to me. But no, I had so much fun doing it last year, and I'm gonna have a lot lot more fun this year, I think, because it's just a lot more strategy, and like you need to be paying attention more when it's a 20-man league. You know what I mean? So let's break it down. I'm gonna break down the first round, and then we'll just go do cover my own picks after that. So first, as my uncle actually, he selected Saquon Barkley. Obviously, I think that was a big. I wouldn't say he's a consensus. I think he's a consensus actually. It's him or Bijan, so that's where he went. My friend Chris, he took Jamar Chase. My friend Chris wasn't even here the entire draft actually, so it was literally just auto drafting for him. So yeah, but I mean, that's not a bad pick. No, that's a great pick. And number 3, Bijan Robinson. I have Bijan in the other league that we're going to be going to later. A solid pick. I think Bijan will be the workhorse this year in fantasy football, and a lot of people think he'll be the RB1, and I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it if that's what happens, because I really do think he's going to be the workhorse. So number 4, CeeDee Lamb went. Of course, CeeDee is, I don't think this guy was here for like half the draft either. But yeah, CeeDee is CeeDee, so you can't argue with that. And number 5 is where stuff starts to get wacky, guys. I know you already see it. I forgot to mention that maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of these people don't really know what they're doing. Like, it's like their first year playing fantasy, or not their first year, but they just don't really pay attention to it like that much. And this guy is one of our friends. He's cool. He's a funny guy, but he literally does not. Or I mean, I guess he does watch. I don't know, because he says he's like a Niners fan, but I guess he barely started watching football last year or this year. I don't know. He says this year he's gonna be paying attention more to football. I guess he's one of those people that has a team, but they never really watch. You know what I mean? But yeah, so he made obviously one of the worst picks you could ever do. Well, not worst picks. I think it's a great pick, but for the placement of the pick, and he took Lamar Jackson. So yeah, that as you'll see, that lit up a quarterback frenzy. So you'll see. Honestly, some of these people made horrible picks. I know you guys are probably laughing at them, but don't worry, my team is honestly very solid. I think I made out like a bandit in this draft. But I mean, I wanted Lamar. Honestly, I was like, if he gets to the second or the third, I wanted to take him because I always wanted Lamar because he's a dual threat. So he's obviously gonna have a lot of big games. But yeah, no chance with him getting to get number 5. Number 6, Jahmyr Gibbs went. Another sensible pick. He's another player that's probably gonna have a really great season. I just don't know how what his share is gonna be with Montgomery still there. So we'll see. Great pick though. Number 7, Justin Jefferson, of course, another fantasy god, I guess you'd say, another fantasy legend. Every year. I'm surprised he slipped out this far, honestly. Like I said, guys, some of these guys, I don't know what they're doing. So I think that's what makes it more fun. You know what I mean? Because we're all just having fun. But I might put some money into the league. Honestly, I might put up a prize pool, but I'm not sure yet because the year hasn't started yet, so I could do that. But yeah, Jefferson, great pick. Number 8, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I was a little heartbroken at that pick because I loved Amon-Ra last year. I literally caught him in the second round, and he was so insane for me, guys. Oh my goodness, Amon-Ra, I love him. Ever since last year, I love him. He was insane. So that's a very great pick. And then here we go again with people that don't really know what they're doing. This guy doesn't really watch football that much, but he just decided to join for fun, which you can respect, right? That's fun. I always respect people that do that. So, but he took Josh Allen. So, again, that's not a bad pick. He's the MVP, the dual threat QB, but obviously, you don't want to do that in the draft. And that sparked this quarterback frenzy right here with Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow being selected the next 2. Again, I don't know. I literally never pick a quarterback in the first 2-3 rounds. So, here I think I could understand it more because if you don't draft a quarterback at some point within the first couple rounds or 10 rounds, 7 rounds, you're gonna end up with somebody like Tanner McKee, the backup quarterback, as your starter. But I just don't see why you would want to take a quarterback. I'm just roasting their picks here. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I never do that, But I would say all these quarterbacks that were taken are, the most elite of the elite. So it's not like it's a bad choices here. And then I went ahead and took Christian McCaffrey, and you're probably like, bro, you're a Rams fan. Why are you taking Christian McCaffrey? And I don't know. I like my reasoning is, if McCaffrey has a bad year, or it's bad times, that probably means the Niners are doing bad. So I don't mind that. But he's a beast, and last year obviously it was the very, very consensus number one pick by everybody. But injuries obviously hampered him, and I mean they straight up lied about his injury at the beginning of the year. So I can't see him like not having a good year. Coming back from injury. He's gonna be nice and healthy, and the Niners, they lost some weapons. Not that many. They lost Deebo Samuel. I forget who else they lost in the offseason. I think obviously Hufanga and Trey Greenlaw, but I don't think anything too pivotal. And I think the loss of Deebo will really help McCaffrey, explode even more than he already was going to. Because this is their guy. This is the guy they traded was it 2 first-round picks or 1 and like the second or third and some shit like that. So I really can't see him having a bad year this year if he's healthy, obviously. And yeah, that was my reasoning there. I took a swing there. Okay, I don't even know why the thing stopped recording. I'm just gonna get to my picks, honestly, but you can see the rest of the first-round picks there. Buka, Malik Neighbors, Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Ashton Genty, Jared Goff, and Brian Thomas. I know, yeah, some bad quarterback picks. Like, why? I don't know. They rushed, and I think Andy got a good quarterback. You'll see. We can see him there, but yeah, we're gonna continue. So, yeah. So here's my team, guys. I got Christian McCaffrey in the first, Tyreek Hill in the second, Alvin Kamara in the third, Sam Laporta in the fourth, Stephon Diggs in the fifth, Dak Prescott in the sixth, Colston Loveland in the seventh, Marvin Mims in the eighth, the Seattle Seahawks defense at the 9th round, Kaimi Fairbairn in the 10th round, Raheem Mostert in the 11th round, Aaron Rodgers in the 12th, Amari Cooper in the 13th, and I accidentally drafted Justin Tucker. I was trying to draft Josh Gordon. That was an accident. And then I just took a defense at the end, but I always end up dropping a defense, so I don't know why I did that. Because I always end up drafting a defense, for the backup, but then I always just drop them. So, and I did here, so. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry, I had a cough. But, yeah, I honestly think I made out like a bandit there, guys, compared to, like, some of the other teams in the league. Like, I'll show you some bad teams. I don't mean to roast anybody's team, but I think I did really good here. So, of course, my quarterback, Dak Prescott, guys, in the 6th round. I think I went off. Well, you know what? We'll go with like chronological order. So we talked about McCaffrey. I think he's gonna have an explosive season coming back from injury. But my second round pick, Tyreek Hill, guys. I know. You guys are like, why would you pick Tyreek Hill? A lot of people are, questioning him, but again, it's literally the same reasoning with McCaffrey besides the Niners part. I just can't see him having a bad year if he's healthy, despite if he's in Dolphins or, there's been a lot of, like, not trade rumors. I don't think there's been any recently, but there was, like, earlier in the season, in the offseason. But I think he will be staying with Miami. But, I mean, Tua can throw that deep ball, guys. This guy, he's 32, but he's 31, but he's still got, I think a good amount in the tank, for him to be a viable second-round pick and a wide receiver 1. This is another big swing. I'm telling you guys, I took a lot of big swings in fantasy this year because it's a 20-man league, so I think you had to take those, like, big chances. So that was my reasoning there. I feel like it was a great pick. It was like number 26 or something like that, 27, 28 overall in the number 9 in the second round. And I just feel like I had to take Tyreek there. I wanted, like, if these guys, these three, Kamara, McCaffrey, Hill, play to, how I think they can play. Like, I think they still have that superstar potentiality left in them. Don't laugh at me, guys. But I really, like, I can see it, that's true because he really does go off. Like, it's not, 2018 Kamara anymore, obviously. 2020 Kamara, but he's still, like, he can still be that, really. I genuinely believe that he can still be that. He's still capable of being, that guy that can win you games. You know what I mean? This guy is still a playmaker. He's 30, but I believe he's still a playmaker, guys. I mean, I should know because my uncle's a Saints fan, so I've watched a lot of Saints games over the years. And I know I watched a couple last year. I think he was hurt a little bit, towards the end of last year. But he was amazing before that. Guys, that Cowboys game, oh my God, 44 points, guys. This guy when he's healthy, and honestly, these aren't bad numbers for 20 men. For my 20 men, if I really need that, I keep saying sorry, but genuinely, guys, I think that was a great pick. So, Alvin Kamara is my running back too. Two really strong running backs. And then in the 4th round, I went ahead and took Sam Laporta. So tight end's another position I want to get a jump on, but I never do. But I think Sam Laporta was a good pick. I think he's starting tight end for the Lions, and of course they have a very crowded offense, but I think this is a solid pick, honestly. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has a lot of potential too. He had some good points here, towards the end of the year. That's some great points. Yeah, I like this guy a lot. Looks like he actually kind of had some bad points in the beginning, but that's fine. I think he's a baller. I think he can play. And last year I had Mark Andrews, and I don't think anything was worse than 2024 Mark Andrews. So. I think that's a good pick. At my 5th round pick, I took another fucking gamble, guys. I know you're like, man, this guy's taking all these gambles. What the heck? But I had to, guys. I had to. Stephon Diggs, guys. I don't even remember who else was there on the board, but I felt this was the best pick because, again, it's a big swing because of his health concerns and everything that's going on there. But I think this guy's gonna be the number 1 in the Patriots. You know what I mean? This is gonna be Drake May's guy, to help him advance and grow as a quarterback this year. I believe. I think this guy's gonna get a lot of targets. Well, I didn't even see this. What the fantasy managers need to draft. I'm not too worried about that, honestly. I really am not too worried, even if he misses. I'm telling you, I think he will play once he's played and he's ready. I think he will be not anything crazy, but I do think he will get a lot of catches and targets because, Drake. I mean, there is a lot of good, I think, young talent there on the Patriots as well. But I do think Diggs will get a good amount of attention from Drake May this year. So that was kind of my reasoning with that pick. I don't think he had that great of a year in Houston. I know. Actually, he didn't have some good points actually before. Never mind. See, look, guys, this guy can still play, guys. This guy can still play. I'll always like Diggs. He's a great player. So we'll see how the Diggs and Hill combo comes together this year. So then we went to the 6th round, and that's when I drafted America's team's quarterback, guys, Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys football team. So he has a lot going on with Dallas right now. Did you guys see Jerry talking about they're so he called them a soap opera or whatever? That was actually crazy. But I always, Dak always has a great year, I think, in regular season. So I thought that was easy enough, to draft him. In the 6th round, he fell all the way to the 6th round. Guys, there was people taking everybody, but nobody paid attention to Dak Prescott. And I think it's because of his injury, and he's only projected at 15 points, but I feel like he's going to have his average points this year. Because I always notice that, he always does good after, an injury year. Remember 2020, guys, when he got injured in 2021. Look at these stats. Great year. Only game that, really stands out is the New Orleans, Washington, Kansas City, but everything else, and Los Angeles Chargers. Everything else, great year. So I'm really excited to have Dak on my team, honestly. Also, because, I know a lot of Cowboys fans. My best friend Sam, he's a Cowboys fan. And, I don't really hate the Cowboys anymore. I used to, my first year, because, we live in Texas. But I don't really hate them anymore, because, they've been kind of they drafted him in the first round, like they at 10 overall. You know what I mean? He's gonna start over Komet, and I think he's gonna be, again one of Caleb Williams' favorite targets there. I mean, this guy can play, guys. I'm telling you. I think there's a lot of potential here. So, yeah, I wanted him. I wanted him bad. He was there at seventh round, and I was like, fuck it, let's go and take Loveland. And in a league like this, I feel like a player like this is very valuable, guys. I'm telling you, I think this will be one of the sleeper players of the year. I think he's gonna have a Brock Bowers type year. And watch him, I'm not even, never mind, I don't want to curse myself, but I think this guy is gonna be really good this year. And, if he's in your league, you should pick him up. Good player. And I really don't know why he's at 6 points. I really do think he's gonna start for the Bears this year. So, after that, in the 8th round, I went ahead and took Marvin Mims. This is another guy that has solid games. I kind of barely, really found out about him last year. But look at the stats towards the end of the year. This guy went off that Bengals game. Yeah, I like him. He's gonna be a flex, so I don't really need to be crazy again. But I think potential is there. High upside. I got a lot of high upside players, I think. I definitely think. And then, of course, Kami Fairbairn. He was excellent for me last year. He literally had some games last year where he scored 20 points. 17, 20, 16. This guy had great numbers, so I really excited to have him again this year. So we'll see. The Seattle Seahawks defense, I kind of took them again just because if my defense here fails, at least that means the Seahawks might be failing. Because I'm a Rams fan. But Seattle's always had a good group, a great defense. So I felt pretty comfortable with that pick, and also the defenses are running out crazy by that point, and I wanted to at least get a solid to elite one, and I think I got a solid one. So great pick there, I think. So that is my starters, I guess. So now we're gonna take a look at the bench, and I forget what order I did this in. Okay, well, I'll just do it like that. So I went ahead and took Aaron Rodgers in the 12th. I was surprised he was still there, honestly, because some people were needing quarterback, a backup still, or a good quarterback still, better than their starter, and he was still there. So I had to take him. I had him last year. He wasn't really that great. I think it was more the Jets. It was more the Jets' fault, but he had average performances. I would say. Yeah, honestly. But I had replaced him in the middle of the year because of I had gotten Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was going off. So, but I love Aaron Rodgers. I always liked him. We share a lot of similar interests, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I always love this guy, and I'm not a big fan of the Steelers, but I might have to be positive for them this year because my guy's there. So he's my backup quarterback. In my backup running back position, I got Raheem Mostert in the 11th round. Raheem of the dream, guys. I always liked, well, not really when he was a Niner, but I always admired his play because this guy was so, he was so quick. Remember that year that, wasn't he starting for the Niners that year at running back in 2019? This guy was insane, guys. Let's take a look at the stats here because you can do that in Sleeper. I think that's really cool. 2019, this guy was, that fucking Green Bay game, 48 points, jeez. I know that, obviously probably nobody was playing fantasy by that point because it was January, but that's insane, 48 points, what the heck? Man, that year was a trip, honestly. And, okay, well, he had some slow performances, but, man, I think he overall gave you some good performances if you had him that year. Yeah, he's insane. I think he's always had, good upside. Well, early some solid, decent numbers right now, and I think this is a great pick because I feel like there could be some games where he has the type of games like this 11 point, 16 point, and I'm probably not gonna need him until my running backs have to go on by, but I like that pick, and who knows if. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but I think there's a lot of upside with Mostert as a third running back. And then in the 13th round, yep, I did it. I took the biggest gamble, not really a gamble. I feel like this isn't really a gamble. I think this is a smart play though, guys. Amari Cooper in the 13th. That's right. He's not even fucking signed to a team yet, as of August 15th. But I feel like he's gonna get signed, guys. Like this guy can still play. We saw last year. With the Bills, I feel like they have a lot of receivers there, so I'm not surprised that he emerged as the top receiver. But I think he still made some decent plays for the Bills. You know what I mean? But with Cleveland in 2023, I don't even know that was his best year. But yeah, apparently that was his best year. That Houston game is crazy. I can't believe that. I don't even remember that, honestly. And I had seen that the other day, and I'm like, how the heck did they lose in the wild card? You know what I mean? The Browns. But yeah, I think this guy can still play, guys. I'm just waiting for him to get signed. I'm telling you guys, once this guy gets signed, this is gonna be the steal pick of the century. That's it. I really believe that. I don't think he's gonna be projected 15 points or whatever, but I think he can at least snag 10 a game, depending on the team he's at. You know what I mean? So I really genuinely feel like this is a great pick in the 13th round, low risk, high reward type of pick. And yeah, I really hope he signs soon because I don't want to go into the season and I already dropped the Atlanta Falcons defense because I wanted to get this other guy. I'll show you right now at receiver just in case Cooper doesn't sign. So yeah, hopefully he signs soon. Yeah, maybe even if we get into the year and he's not signed, keep him, hold on for a little bit. But I don't think I can hold on to him past week 3 or 4. But he's gotta get signed soon. You know what I mean? Apparently it's a thing with money or something. That's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything. But apparently he wants more money. But I don't know. Just get into a team because I think he can produce, and I feel like this is a steal pick. Whether you drafted him at some point if you're in a big league, or you can get him on the waiver wire. Yeah. Well, you guys should probably wait till he gets signed. But I genuinely feel like this was a genius pick. So we'll see. He just retires. Imagine, bro. I would be like, okay, never mind. I would be like, fuck, if that happens, he just retires. But didn't he say he wants to play still? I remember hearing some shit about that. I don't know, but I always like this guy, and I think he is gonna sign, and it's gonna be a steal pick at 13. And then we had drafted Josh Tucker, but I meant to draft Josh Carty. It's because it was literally only Josh Tucker and the Dolphins kicker, and then somebody drafted the Dolphins kicker, and there was a bunch of free agents after that. I'm like, what the heck? Where are all the other kickers at? I thought all the kickers were gone, but I just had to go look at free agency. So, yeah, honestly, Josh can be my backup kicker, really. But this is my boy, Playboy Cardi. I love that nickname. But yeah, you know what I mean? So, my backup kicker for that week that I need him, and yeah, he's good. He's evolving. I'm always shaky with him still because he's so young still. When I watch his field goals, but he's good. He's good. He's a good kicker. Playboy Cardi. And then last but not least, we had drafted the Falcons defense, but the other day, one of our league mates dropped Mario Douglas, and then it's I'm telling you guys, some of these guys, they don't know what they're doing. But I understand, I don't think he's not really a big name. I think he's the starting wide receiver too. I feel like he's getting there, not a big name, but he's a known name. If you watch a lot of football, I believe. But yeah, he dropped him, and I had to take him. I just had to take him. My leg popped out guys, it's funny because I started, Madden 26 just came out, and I had started a Patriots franchise mode, and then this happened, so I was like, yeah, I gotta get Pop, and he was on the free agency wire for a while, because nobody really, like, was intrigued by him, but, with Amari Cooper not being signed yet, and being my third receiver, I think I had him sign Pop, just to get that insurance, because, he'll be able to put up solid wide receiver 3 numbers for my squad, I believe. Again, and just like a backup role, really, for when I need to put him in. But I like him. I like how he plays, and I like him as a player. So I love that I was able to get him here for agency. And yeah, guys, that's my 20 man fantasy league, guys. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Look at these teams. Like, this is who won the league actually. Last year, I'm playing the champ in week 1. She's funny. She's cool. She's cool. Yeah, I like her. And she knows a little bit. She knows airball, But I feel like her team's a little weak this year, with Ray Davis there. But I think she has solid spots outside of that. But let me show you some other teams that are like terrible. All right, so this is my friend Chris. So I don't think he would really care, but he just let it auto draft the whole way through, and like, look at this, like. Bucky's a good pick, okay? Bucky and Chase, London. Okay, this might be great picks. And, okay, look, he has a good team. I can't lie. But, I mean, he didn't even get a quarterback, and now he has Jalen Milroe. So, that's the thing with his team, I think. And things like, Scatterbo will have a good year. I mean, Omar Gadsden. Oronde Gadsden. I don't even know what that is, guys. That's, I don't know if I can curse. Why did he even join? I'm just kidding, Chris. I love you. If you ever happen to be watching this. But yeah, it's my league, guys. I'll show you some of the players in free agency. I had seen this the other day, actually. I'm kind of blindsided by this. Of course, the brown side I think upon. But yeah, what else? Oh yeah, I was gonna look at this too. Brandon Cooks is free agent. What do you think, guys? You think he'll explode this year with the Saints? Not explode, but like have a good sleeper year. I don't know. But we shall move on from my sleeper league, the sleeper league, where I believe I have the best team. Honestly, I feel like I won the draft. Do you guys think I won the draft? I know you guys can see the other teams, but tell me what you think of this squad for a 20-man team. But now we go to where it is a little more, I think, I guess friendly to it's a little more fun, I would say. In a way, I think the 20-man league is more fun for me, but for everybody overall, I think an 8-man league is more fun, you know what I mean? Like, individually for me, I love the 20-man, but like I said, for everybody's enjoyment, I feel like an 8, 10, 12-man league is the funnest. But this, I forgot how to get to the draft. Hold on, guys. Actually, I'll show you the teams first. So we got my friend Sam, we got Dylan, we got Sean. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to get to the draft. How do I do it? Is it here? It better not do the draft noise again. No, I don't think so. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, because wait, here we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. You can just, okay, that makes it so much easier. Alright. Well, actually, I don't want to look by that. I want to put my light team. Okay, there we go. So, here we go, guys. So, in the first round, I had the 6th overall pick. I took Bijan. I don't know how they let Bijan slip out to that, but I obviously loved that he did, because I'm telling you, I think he's going to be the workhorse in Atlanta this year. Just the workhorse running back 1 in general in fantasy football. So I'm really happy with him spearheading the offense. In the second round, I took the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like I said, I had him last year in the sleeper league, and he did so much for me. So again, he slips out to me in the second round in the lower league. So I'm very happy with him there. In the third round, I took Devin Achane. Now, I didn't really know much about Devin Achane until last year, when he was popping off. as a dual threat running back, and that's kind of part of the reason I drafted him, because I know he could be that for me this year, and I'm excited to see how he plays for me. I was a little like skeptical because there was Nico Collins on the board, but I really think that Achan's gonna have an amazing year and he's gonna pop off. So I think that was a great pick there. And then I went ahead and got Joe Burrow in the 4th. It's because everybody was drafting quarterbacks already. They were doing that quarterback craze, you know what I mean? When I got, like I said in the other league, where everybody starts drafting quarterbacks, and I hold my cool, but I kind of wanted an elite quarterback, you know what I mean? So yeah, I had to take Joe Burrow there. To kind of just super speeding this because it's even longer, I think, than the sleeper draft. George Kittle over the middle in the 5th round. Again, I love having an elite tight end, and I think that was a great pick there in the 5th to get George. I think George is gonna have a great year too with McCaffrey. I feel like those two are gonna be Purdy's primary targets. So loved that I was able to get him there in the 5th. In the 6th, I got Ladd McConkey. I love Ladd. He was so great for me last year. My friend Dylan actually had drafted him, and then he dropped him in the middle of the year. And then I picked him up, and then that's when he went off. I don't know if you guys remember, but he started dropping 15 to 20, 25 points a game. Oh, I love him. I think he's gonna be great for the Chargers. For his career, really, and I'll be excited to see what he does this year for my squad here. I'm sad I wasn't able to get him on the sleeper league again, but I don't mind having him here in the ESPN crazy draft. 7th round, I took James Conner. This guy is the workhorse for the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like that was a no-brainer. Running backs seem to really put my uncle's silly point system. That's what he calls it. Cause I'll show you guys later, but he cracked it out. I think running backs are going to be the best bet, to win the league, just because they care. Obviously, they get all those carries and they just get everything. So James Conner is the workhorse, and I've seen that from being division rivals with him and the Rams in Arizona, and just watching last year when I would see his fantasy stats. So I like him for the team at a flex position. And then DeAndre Swift, same thing, another workhorse for the Bears. I remember he was having a rough couple weeks in the beginning of the year last year. And then, of course, the Bears play the Rams, and this guy looks like fucking Barry Sanders out there, or I should say Walter Payton. I'm sorry, Bears fans. I should say Sweetness. Really, he carved up the Rams, and I think that's what gave him the confidence to have a great year, because he was finally steady after that. And yeah, I like him there, so got him there. Eagles defense at 9. Again, everybody was starting to draft defenses, and I don't think it was a big need yet, but I had wanted to draft the Steelers and the Ravens defense, but they literally got off the board 5 picks before me, back to back. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll take Philly. Aaron Jones Sr., my boy Aaron Jones, guys. I'm from El Paso, where Aaron Jones is from. So I always want him on the team. It's another one that I always want to have on the team, but I feel like I've never actually had him. But this year, I luckily was able to grab my boy from the 915, Aaron Jones. I'm happy to have him. I don't think he's going to be the workhorse again. I think he was really great last year for Minnesota, but you have to share a lot of time this year with Jordan Mason coming in. But I think he'll still be able to, maybe earn the starting role. He will, right? I feel like he will. I feel like, they're just going to do this, switch on, switch off thing with Mason and Jones. So, but yeah, I like that pick at 10. 11, Chris Godwin. So, I think my team was already, set besides kicker. And this is where I was like, alright, well, there should be 50,000 bench spots because there's 20. So, I took Chris Godwin. I know he's hurt still right now. I don't know when he's going to return. I don't know if it's week 1 or not, but it is this year. And it's going to be this year. And I feel like that was another low risk pick for when he returns, if he has a good year. And that's the same reasoning with this Brandon Ayuk pick, because I was able to just put them both on IR. And so I think those 2 picks are okay. Low risk, high reward, and if I have to drop them, if they're not doing too good, this one. I'll show you guys right now. But yeah, Matthew Golden at 12. So I kind of realized that Chris Godwin might be, not as good because of his injury, and Emeka Egbuka getting drafted to the Bucks. So this is my insurance policy. I'm always kind of weary with the Green Bay Packers and their receivers, because last year, there was some games where the receivers would go off, and then I remember I signed one of them on my team because I needed to start them, and then they just did nothing for me. So there's totally there's no definitive number one wide receiver in Green Bay, but maybe Matthew Golden can change that and prove that he is the number one. So we'll see. At the 13th pick, I took Tyler Warren from the Indianapolis Colts. I wanted him so bad for the Rams. I loved him and Loveland in college. They were both so great. And unfortunately, we did not. The Colts got him, but the Colts got a stud. He reminds me of Dallas Clark. I think he's wearing the same number now as Dallas Clark. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't think there's much to say if you know about this guy. He was an absolute stud. A lot of people call him the best tight end in the draft. Whether you want to believe that or you want to believe that it's Loveland, it's completely your discretion. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I think they're both great. So I had Loveland the other one, and I was like, fuck it, I will need a backup tight end. So why not take a chance on Tyler Ward and see what he does for the Colts this year? My backup quarterback in the 14th round was J.J. McCarthy, and I love J.J. again, another Michigan man, so I think he'll have a solid year with the Vikings. I'm not really sure how they'll do. I'm kind of underestimating them, honestly, but they're the kings of being underestimated, and they have a phenomenal season like it happened last year. So I really wouldn't be surprised if JJ broke out and had another great year, but with the Vikings, or had a great year with the Vikings and led them back to the playoffs. But I feel like it would just be a growing year for the Vikings, not for the Vikings, but for JJ McCarthy. But I do feel like the team around him is already ready, and obviously Kevin McConnell, I feel, is one of the best head coaches in football. And I kind of say that because he was a former Rams offensive coordinator, the one that helped us win the Super Bowl, actually. But I do feel like he's very underrated still, even though I think he's gotten his flowers a little bit. I think he's a top 7, I would say, top 7 or 8 head coach. And I'm not gonna even think about it, because there's probably I don't know. He's great. 15, we already talked about Brandon Ayuk. 16, Harrison Butker. Obviously the Chiefs like to, sometimes they score a lot of points, sometimes they just keep field goals, so regardless, that helps me, and I think that's a solid pick for a kicker. So yeah, Harrison Butker. I've known about him for so long. He's been in the league for so long at this point. Round 17, Cam Scatterbo. I think this is an electric pick, you know what I mean? Scatterbo he was one of my favorite players last year at ASU. And, they almost knocked off Texas, you know what I mean? So, I'm pretty enthused about this pick here with Cam Scatterbo. And, yeah, I think it's a good little swing pick. And the 18th round, I got the Bills defense. I feel like that's kind of crazy because I think the Bills defense will be really good again this year. I think there's another group that's always really good. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take them for my backup, and I might need them depending on how Philly does this year. You know what I mean? So we'll see. In the 19th round, I took Jake Ferguson. I had him last year. I was okay with him last year. He has some good performances, and then he got hurt. Not really that many good performances. He had 2, but or 3, 4. I mean, he was alright, he was alright, but he wasn't a dependable guy. But I'm not mad with him being the 4th or 3rd tight end on the roster. And finally, I took Emeka Egbuka because I took I guess that is a good insurance if Godwin, doesn't play as well, or doesn't start, or just, just anything with Godwin's situation this year. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that draft there, honestly, guys. I kind of superseded through it because, obviously, I probably talked about a couple of these players, or you guys might be annoyed with my voice already. No, I'm just kidding. But because it's like that, it's the same thing. You like, do you think this person's gonna have a better matchup than your starter is gonna have against, this, I don't know, let's say the number one defense in the league, right? So I think that makes it interesting. You can see I have two. I already failed, but I got Tyrone Tracy because someone dropped him, and Travion Anderson because someone dropped him, which I feel like is stupid because, where's Anderson? Oh yeah, I got him in the starting lineup because these guys are literally gonna be, I think, the RB1s in their teams, running back ones, the starters. So, like I said earlier, I feel like this league's gonna be one on running backs, and I think I have the best running back group. I got Achan, Robinson, Anderson, Connor, Aaron Jones, and Swift, and Tracy. I got 6 running backs. I think that's the best running back room, guys. There was some guy literally drafted like 8 running backs, but I think he got rid of some of them. I think it was Omar. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Omar's a lot of running backs too. But yeah, guys, that is it for all my leagues, honestly. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. I'm gonna show you guys the points system, so you guys can see. Where do I check the ads? Right here. Okay. You can see there. It's a little bit crazy. Is it changed actually? Let me see. Okay, I think it's there now. Yeah, okay, there. Rushing touchdowns are worth 10. Actually, I don't really know what's different or not, because I don't really look at this even when it's normal. But I'm sure you guys can make it out if you look at this often. It's very cracked. As you can see, like literally the projection is like 200 points, 268, 263, and these guys are gonna score like 40. You see, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed my video. Checking out my fantasy teams. I really had a lot of fun making this one, honestly. It was kind of raining earlier, and I was kind of upset about that, but it stopped, and I was able to get this video done. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy just with this, what we're gonna be able to do with the channel. I think it'll be good for me, start pushing out some content. But I hope you guys enjoyed my first ASMR video, essentially, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.